Gossam says, I saw this dream on August 19th, 2017. I was on the roof of a very large house, which was connected to other smaller houses, in which me, as well as some other Muslims lived in. In the distance, I saw two separate large houses, and around them were a few small homes in which Muslims lived in. And around there was huge lofty buildings. I saw the people making a big plane together, but they fixed the engine on only one wing, and not the other. When it started to fly, I became shocked. I said, what kind of people would make such a huge plane and doesn't fix both sides before flying? This plane will crash as soon as it takes off and cause a lot of destruction. I then saw the plane turn a bit, and suddenly, it went out of control and flew towards my house. I became scared. The moment of impact created a huge blast which caused me to crouch in shock. I gathered courage and got up. I saw that the plane landed on the house adjacent to mine, and that house was destroyed. Sparks of fire were falling everywhere. This caused the wall in our house to catch fire. The people in our house became frightened, saying, "Who did this?" Then I looked and saw the place from where this plane took off. And nearby, I saw that Dajjal was on the roof of the house. I was shocked and confused that what is he doing there? He seemed to be doing something strange. Then he used his powers to unite the winds and the clouds, and a terrifying sort of thunderstorm was formed. He sent it towards the place where there were two big homes and a few small ones. The thunderstorm was so terrifying that the Muslims became scared just by seeing it. The thunderstorm stopped on top of those homes. Thick dark clouds with lightning and fast winds kept hovering over the roofs of their houses, circulating like a huge hurricane. It felt as if they are going to destroy everything. The hurricane was so enormous that its clouds were coming up to my roof. A huge terror casted upon the homes of the Muslims. No Muslim or scholar could muster up the courage to say anything. All Muslims started to pray to Allah to stop this thunderstorm or finish it. I said that Dajjal is doing all of this. It's better to do something practical, along with the supplications. I was looking at Dajjal. He was looking at the sky and thinking something. I wondered what he's looking at and what he's waiting for. Then suddenly, Dajjal raised his arms in the sky and did something. I decided that it's better to go down there and try to prevent any further evil. As I left, rain started to pour. On my way down, I noticed the ceiling being filled with water drops. I said, "What is this? Water is dropping from the roof? There isn't even a single hole." Then in the floor below, I noticed the same water dripping through the ceiling like before. I became horrified, thinking, how is this even possible? This will completely destroy our house. I saw the others, and they looked very worried. Then I went back to the roof. The rain was so much that nothing could be seen from far away. I looked over the edge and saw that water was accumulated in the whole house. The water was pushing around violently, and I felt it was going to break the walls. I looked at the main gate, and it was closed. I became shocked upon seeing the powers of Dajjal. I said that I should open the main gate so the water can leave and the pressure is lifted before the wall breaks. I went to the ground floor and saw that many people were drowning in water. I swam towards the main gate and then grabbed it. The water was pushing back with force, but I managed to open the gate. All the water drained out and we were all saved. They said, "Qasim, if you hadn't opened this gate, then we would have surely drowned." Then suddenly, some army people came and warned us against people who were attacking our homes. The people became distressed, saying how one problem was solved and now another one begins. When the army people left, I decided to follow them in order to defend the innocent. Then I stopped and realized I needed ammunition to fight. After searching the house, I found some ammo, as well as a giant weapon with a scope and a uniform in one room. I saw that the backside of the house was slightly damaged and there was a house on the other side of this wall. I then made my way back. The army was fighting a few people, but their ammunition was weak and running out, and the enemies were too strong. Those enemies had a very solid entrenchment, leaving the army at a huge disadvantage. I hid well and looked through the scope. I was able to see through the wall very clearly. I aimed and activated the weapon, which passed right through the wall and hit the enemy. That enemy fell and became unconscious. I became amazed, thinking that what a weapon this is. I activated the weapon a few more times, and the rest of the enemies fainted. The army also saw me and became surprised that what kind of weapon is this? I said to them that these enemies are very powerful and only this weapon can stop them. Then we went into a room, and there was a person controlling that entire building. Upon seeing him, I knew that he is a helper of Dajjal. I caught that person and said to the army that guard him carefully. He knows the whereabouts of his leader. I didn't tell the army that Dajjal sent these men. Then we returned, and the army said that the enemies are dealt with, and everyone became happy. They said Qasim defeated all these enemies when we were unable to do anything. People became surprised and said, Qasim, how did you overcome the enemies? Where did you get this weapon and uniform? Are you a soldier? I said that yes, I am a soldier of Allah, and I overcame those enemies with the help of Allah. Then I thought about Dajjal and said that this is just the beginning. Qasim also says, I never got a chance to see how much destruction the thunderstorm caused. This is because of the heavy rain